The story of Elisa Lam is one of the most haunting and perplexing mysteries of the 21st century. An unsettling blend of tragedy, unanswered questions, and details that continue to disturb investigators and internet sleuths more than a decade later. Even today, the name Elisa Lam instantly evokes images of a dark hotel, a missing woman, a strange elevator video, and a death that defies easy explanation. But beyond the popular summaries and sensational headlines, the real case is stranger, more complex, and far more disturbing than most people realize. To truly understand what happened at the Cecil Hotel in 2013, we must go deeper, beyond the viral moments and into the psychological, historical, and forensic layers of the case. Because the more closely you look at Elisa's final days, the more troubling the details become. Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old student from Vancouver, Canada. She was bright, curious, and extremely active online, especially on Tumblr, where she posted about her struggles with mental health, her love of books, photography, and her desire to travel despite her anxieties. In January of 2013, she decided to take a solo trip along the west coast of the United States. Los Angeles was supposed to be just one stop on that adventure. She checked into the Cecil Hotel, a cheap downtown building with a long history of crime, suicides, and violence. At the time, the hotel operated partially as a budget hostel and partially as low-income housing. Guests from all walks of life passed through its hallways. Tourists, residents, addicts, fugitives, and people living on the fringes of society. It was not the kind of place a vulnerable traveler should stay alone. And yet, Elisa checked in anyway, unaware of the darkness woven into the hotel's history. During the first days of her stay, other guests reported strange interactions with her. At one point, hotel staff said Elisa was assigned to a shared female dorm room, but her roommates complained about her behavior. She was allegedly acting erratically, hiding notes, and speaking in disjointed phrases. Hotel staff moved her to a private room for her safety. This detail is often overlooked, but it's crucial. Elisa's behavior was already unusual before her disappearance. On January 31st, the day she was supposed to check out, Elisa simply vanished. She stopped answering calls. She missed her scheduled departure. Her parents panicked and called the police. Search teams canvassed the hotel, using dogs, reviewing security cameras, and interviewing staff. They found no trace of her. Officers said the dogs followed her scent up to the roof but lost it, something that would later become incredibly significant. Days passed. The hotel remained open. Guests continued checking in and out. Some began to complain about low water pressure, strange-tasting water, and a foul smell coming from the taps. But no one connected this to Elisa, at least, not yet. Meanwhile, the police were preparing to release the first major breakthrough in the case. Security footage captured inside one of the hotel's elevators. What the footage revealed shocked the world. The infamous elevator video, recorded on February 1st, shows Elisa behaving in a way that defies simple explanation. At first, she enters the elevator calmly, wearing a red hoodie and shorts. She presses multiple buttons. The elevator doors do not close. She steps out, looks left and right, then retreats inside. She presses herself against the wall as if hiding from someone or something. Then she steps outside again and begins performing unusual movements with her hands. She waves them in slow, fluid gestures, almost as if communicating with an unseen presence. Her posture shifts. Her body language becomes increasingly erratic. At one point, it appears as if she is speaking or pleading with someone in the hallway, but no one else is visible in the footage. Finally, she walks out of frame. The elevator doors close only after she leaves, as if the elevator itself was malfunctioning around her. The video fueled countless theories: paranormal, criminal, psychological, conspiratorial. Some believed she was running from someone who never appeared on camera. Others speculated she was experiencing a psychotic episode. There were even theories about the video being edited, slowed down, timestamps removed, frames missing. And indeed, experts later confirmed the video had been altered before being released to the public. Some frames were removed. The timestamp is corrupted. The elevator seems to behave unnaturally, ignoring the buttons she presses. This raised serious questions. Were the police hiding something? Or did the hotel itself have secrets it didn't want revealed? With no new leads, the case grew cold until February 19th, when a hotel employee checking the rooftop water tanks made a horrifying discovery. One of the tanks, massive cylinders used to supply water to the building, had its hatch open. Inside was the body of Elisa Lam, floating face up, naked, with her clothes and watch found at the bottom of the tank. How she got there remains the central mystery. Let's consider the disturbing facts. First, access to the roof was supposed to be restricted. There were locked doors, alarms, and ladders that were not easy to climb. Yet somehow, Elisa reached the roof without triggering alarms or being noticed by anyone. Second, the water tank itself was extremely difficult to access. The tank stood on concrete blocks, were over 2 meters tall, and had no easy way to climb up. The hatch was heavy, requiring force to open. Investigators initially suggested Elisa entered the tank on her own, but even seasoned officers admitted it would be nearly impossible for a person to open the tank, climb in, and close the hatch afterward from the inside. In fact, the hatch was found open, and this detail is chilling. If she climbed in, who opened it? And if she fell in by accident, why were her clothes removed afterward? Third, the condition of her body raised questions. There were no signs of trauma, assault, or struggle, yet her phone was never recovered. Her clothes were in the tank, but not on her body. The autopsy concluded she died by accidental drowning, complicated by her bipolar disorder. But many forensic experts criticized the report. Important details were omitted. The death date was inconsistent. Certain toxicology tests were incomplete. And the strange fact that her body remained undiscovered for weeks, despite being on the roof of a busy hotel, only deepens the mystery. Then there's the history of the building itself. The Cecil Hotel is not an ordinary hotel. Its history is stained with death, crime, and darkness. Serial killer Richard Ramirez, known as the Night Stalker, lived on the 14th floor. Jack Unterweger, another serial killer, also stayed there. The building has been the site of suicides, overdoses, unexplained deaths, and even paranormal reports. Some believe the place carries a kind of psychological weight, a darkness that affects those who stay there. Elisa herself wrote frequently on Tumblr about feeling overwhelmed by her mental health struggles. She described her bipolar disorder and depression in detail, along with the medications she was taking. Some people believe her behavior in the elevator was due to a manic episode. But her toxicology report showed she had taken her prescribed medication, though some dosage levels were lower than expected, suggesting she may have missed doses. Still, none of this fully explains how she ended up inside a water tank with no way out. There are other disturbing coincidences. One that many people overlook involves a tuberculosis outbreak near the Cecil Hotel around the time of Elisa's death. The name of the test used to detect that outbreak was LAM Elisa. This is a real medical test created years before, but the timing and the name sent conspiracy theorists into overdrive. Was it coincidence or something more sinister? Another disturbing detail. The last people to see Elisa alive were reportedly staff members at a nearby bookstore, the Last Bookstore. They described her as cheerful and talkative. Nothing about her behavior suggested she was in danger or experiencing a breakdown. This sharp contrast between witnesses' accounts and the elevator video only adds to the puzzle. Some conspiracy theories go even further. A popular one claims Elisa was murdered by someone staying at the hotel, perhaps a staff member, perhaps a guest. They point to the missing phone, the edited elevator footage, and the difficulty of entering the water tank. But if foul play was involved, why was there no forensic evidence? Did the water erase everything, or was the crime staged? Others believe she was exploring the hotel, possibly in a confused state, and somehow found her way onto the roof. But even if she did, the question remains, how did she physically get inside the tank? The hotel employees who found her insisted that the hatch was too heavy for someone in her mental state to lift alone. Some believed she was never supposed to be found, except for the water complaints that forced staff to investigate. And then there is the strangest layer of all, paranormal theories. The Cecil Hotel has long been associated with ghost sightings, unexplained sounds, and eerie events. Some who have stayed there describe an oppressive atmosphere, as if the building itself is alive. While these theories cannot be proven, the behavior Elisa exhibited in the elevator video, gesturing at unseen figures, hiding, stepping in and out of the frame, struck many as reminiscent of someone interacting with something invisible. But the truth may lie somewhere between the rational and the inexplicable. Elisa Lam was a young woman facing mental health challenges. She traveled alone to a dangerous location. She stayed in a hotel with a dark past. She displayed erratic behavior that alarmed other guests. And at some point, she found herself on the roof, a place she should not have been able to access. Something happened there. Something that led her to the water tank, where her life ended under disturbing and mysterious circumstances. While the official explanation labels her death as accidental, the unanswered questions remain unsettling. Why was the elevator behaving so strangely? Why was the video edited? Why was her phone missing and never recovered? How did she reach the roof without triggering alarms? How did she physically get inside a water tank with no ladder? Why were her clothes removed? Why was the hatch open? Why? Did it take so long to find her body despite police searching the roof? Why are key dates in the autopsy inconsistent? And why does the entire case feel like pieces of a puzzle that don't fit together? Her online presence adds another eerie dimension. Elisa's Tumblr continued to update for months after her death. Some posts were queued, but others appeared to be manually uploaded. Investigators never explained this fully. Was her phone stolen? Was someone using her account? Or were the queued posts simply releasing as scheduled? We may never know. The tragedy of Elisa Lam lies not only in her death, but in the sense of unfinished understanding that surrounds it. There is no neat conclusion, no satisfying answer. Only fragments of information that create a haunting picture of a young woman trapped between reality, perception, and the chaos of her own inner world. For years, internet detectives have searched for clues, frame by frame, post by post, file by file, hoping to solve the mystery. But the deeper they dig, the more disturbing the details become. The Cecil Hotel has since been rebranded, renovated, and partially closed, but its legacy remains tied to Elisa's story. Some say her presence still lingers in the hallways, that her spirit is restless because the truth was never uncovered. Perhaps the most unsettling aspect of the Elisa Lam mystery is this. No matter what explanation you believe, accident, foul play, conspiracy, psychological breakdown, or something beyond the rational, each theory leaves behind unanswered questions, cracks in the logic, and details too strange to ignore. Elisa Lam was not just a headline or a viral video. She was a real person with fears, dreams, struggles, and hopes. Her death became a global phenomenon, but somewhere beneath the noise of theories and speculation lies a simple truth. A young woman lost her life under circumstances that should never have been possible. Her story serves as a reminder of how fragile the line is between safety and danger, between clarity and confusion, between reality and the unknown. It forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about the systems meant to protect us, the environments we place ourselves in, and the hidden darkness in places we expect to be safe. And perhaps most disturbingly, The case forces us to acknowledge how little we truly understand about the human mind, the way it perceives danger, the way it distorts reality, and the way it can lead a person into harm's way without them ever realizing it. More than a decade later, the elevator video remains one of the strangest pieces of footage ever released to the public. It captures a moment suspended in time, a moment when Elisa Lam seemed to be caught between fear and confusion, between the visible and the unseen. That video is the last known record of her alive, and even today, people who watch it report a sense of unease, as if they are witnessing something they were never meant to see. The discovery of her body in the water tank only deepened the mystery. The footage, the rooftop, the tank, the missing phone, the autopsy, all of it forms a narrative that feels both incomplete and overwhelmingly disturbing. And maybe that is why the case continues to haunt us. Because it confronts us with the limits of our understanding. Because it asks questions we cannot answer. Because it blurs the boundaries between logic and fear, truth and uncertainty, life and death. Elisa Lam's story has become one of the most analyzed and debated cases on the internet, spawning documentaries, podcasts, investigations, and endless speculation. But despite all the attention, the case remains unsolved in the way that truly matters. We still don't know exactly what happened in her final moments. We don't know what she saw, what she felt, or what drove her to the roof that night. We don't know whether she was alone. We don't know whether she meant to go there, or whether she was trying to escape from something. Perhaps one day new evidence will surface. A confession, a forgotten document, a new witness, a missing file. Or perhaps the case will remain forever in the realm of the unexplained. A modern urban legend born from real tragedy. But until then, Elisa Lam's story continues to echo through time, whispered in hallways, replayed in grainy footage, and remembered by all who are drawn to mysteries that refuse to be solved. What happened at the Cecil Hotel in 2013 remains one of the most disturbing modern mysteries. And the deeper you look, the more unsettling it becomes. Because some stories don't end. Some mysteries don't fade, and some tragedies leave behind shadows that never fully disappear.